12 angles of attack standard with forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Next I'm going to do is the 12 angles with the standard and the reverse angles together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. Next will be the 9 thrusting set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Good. Okay. All right. Let me turn off for just a second there. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, and action. All right, first what we're going to do is arm bar. First of all, we're going to do this at the long range. Thrust comes into the belly, I do a 2-hand block, roll the hand up into an arm bar lock. I kick for soften up, strip the knife up. I press down. I can take the person straight into the ground, or I can sweep the nearest leg back, and then go for a third point, pressing over with this down here, taking my knee, and going to a pressure point. The short range version, the corto version, thrust comes in, I step in, I'm in tight. I take my arm up, I crack the elbow down for arm bar or break, and strike. Again, thrust. Next technique would be center lock. I can do them in conjunction with both of the arm bars, or by itself. Thrust comes in for largo, long range, rotate, kick, thrust the knife out. Pin the knife to my hand, take the knife and hook the elbow, causing a center lock, and break. From here I can step back and stretch him out to the ground. Corto version is very similar. Thrust comes in, I'm in tight, I vice this to my body, I take my arm, and attack the elbow, pushing it sideways to compromise the grip. Keep going until the knife comes out, striking from there. The third technique is called rotary throw, and those can be done in conjunction with this family of grouping. So, thrust comes in on the largo, I hit, hit, hit. I take my left leg, I shuffle it back, I rotate his body by shoving his head down towards my foot was. From here, I control with my knees, I strike, strike, taking my hand to strip the knife off on the side of the arm. Again, thrust comes in. That'll be something completely different. All right, from the largo again. And then here, I kick. I push out for the arm bar. Get rid of the knife to pass. I hit in here, knee in, stepping the foot back, rotating through, hitting with the knees, possibly striking with the hands. Monitoring his body, because from here you can throw a kick. So we'll monitor that for safety. Corto version, I'm already inside, and spin through. After arm bar would be
Backwards throw.
Backwards throw. Okay, this technique, I'm stepping to the outside. Thrust comes in, off a right hand attack, I step with my left foot, doing cross block out. I curl my hand so if he cuts back, it minimizes the damage my body would take. No vitals. Clamp the hands down, get both hands in the back, flex his wrist, lock my elbows in, step my left foot back, and twist. This would be to either throw or break the wrist. Try it again, from the outside, take it to here. Now, if he locks his arm out to keep me from going, I can hit him with his own elbow and continue the lock. If he locks the arm up, I can cut back the way I came. So, ball comes here. Stripping off from there and following up.
Stiffing his hair.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay. Flow would be the next technique, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Okay, so this can be off of an incoming attack. We're going to isolate this, just a knife up to the throat, face, or the belly. So we work muscle memory. The thrust is the knife was put up here like this. If it's to the head area, I do palm heel slapping the inside of the wrist and back of the hand, causing the wrist to flex and eject. So I strike hard enough, the knife goes out. If the knife doesn't go out, I'm in a position to follow up with a return to center. To the belly, I'm here like this, I have my hands up. I'm going to slap with my hand once again to the back of his hand. My striking implement will be my inner forearm. Other tools can be used, this is a personal preference of mine. I will hit the wrist to flex it. If the knife remains in there, I go for a return to center. If I hit it, I can flick it. Now, on a moving target, you come at me, I shuffle back and strike there, and then follow up with what finishing techniques I prefer with. Okay. Next technique is gunting throw, which is a combination of the flow and the backwards throw. This is off the lapel grab. Right hand to the throat with the tip facing to his left side. Okay, it's not here, it's specifically this way. Hands are up in neutral position, getting ready to defend and or attack. Wallet, whatever he's asking for. What I'm going to do here is step my right foot back, and I do the flow to both of his hands. It may or may not break off with hand. Strike to the head for softening up, possibly dislodge the knife either on the flow or this shot. Step back with both hands, continue with the throw, and finish with stripping and or putting in and monitoring any possible incoming attacks. So, grab, knife up here, step the foot back, hit, step the other foot back, and throw. After gunting throw?
Wrist shock.
Okay, wrist shock. So, actually wrist shock and the peel, or wrist shock and the strip are family grouping, so that's going to change in the order that's on that sheet. But they're both a parrying grab. So the thrust comes in here, I go like this, or I go like this. So if I move to the outside, I want to do the technique called wrist shock. I take an open palm strike and apply it to the wrist, very much like the flow. Instead of having attacking from two different angles, the grab's on the same side, and I flex it. If this doesn't work, I go into them. But this would be an ejection, and then it goes down like that. So, going to the outside, wrist shock, I disarm the knife. And then from there, I can just continue with whatever I feel like. Going to the inside makes it the strip. So, thrust comes up here, I grab, I twist. I trace my hand down my forearm to keep as far away from the tip as possible. I place my arm on the side of the blade. From here, I will explode with a two-way action. I will pull his hand towards me, shoving his knife towards him. And from there, I will just follow up with whatever technique. Same thing, if I don't feel comfortable with this, I can always do return to sender. A lot of times I will use my body to push the knife in. So pull comes in here, go to the inside, twisting the knife here, and or off the side of the blade, grabbing the thumb for a release point, tugging the knife out. Next one will be peel. Overhand ice pick attack, thrust comes in, I go for chest, throat, face with an open palm or clawing attack. In practice, I go to the chest. I take my hand and I'm doing a rear hand high block. So that will snake the hand around. If he tries to pull back and pulls the whole arm back, with my arm locked in like this, he will just jerk my arm. If I do a block and he does the same thing, this can fillet the flesh off the skin. So this is why we snake into here. If he pulls forward or pulls back, I can come in with. Again, this is going to minimize the damage. So strike comes in, I'm in. Open palm, clawing attack with a rear high block. Part 2, I twist like I'm doing a reverse punch. This may take the knife out there. If it doesn't, part 3, I hammer down and with a forearm go across his arm. And then from here I can just do whatever follow from there. Technique again. 1, 2, 3. Last one will be the gooseneck. It's set against the backhand slash. That comes up here, put my arm to block, or come up on the tricep to cause a hyperextension or a body elbow shot. Have my secondary hand ready in case something comes back. I want to make sure that I have the bones facing my opponent and not the flesh. So, strike comes in, I pass down, get my thumb up, have my other hand to make sure that his hand doesn't come off, push through, grab the back of the wrist, take my right hand, attack his elbow, and from here, do a wrist compression or a gooseneck. Slash comes in. Okay. Put the knife down. That'll be all the disarm. The traps that we have 4 traps with variation on one. So, hand is up. Trapping hand, standard. I take the lead hand. I slap using the left hand to the right, slap, grab, hit. The other hand, slap, grab, hit. Doesn't matter what hand he attacks with, I still do the same thing. Switches the hand. Okay. Alright, so that's standard trapping hands. Inverted, the punch comes here. Instead of doing hand side to the opposite, or right to left, I'm going to take the same move and invert this and striking like that. So I reverse the direction of my block. First one was outside of the body to the inside. This time it's inside to the out. Carry down and strike. So do it again. 1, 2, 3. Another one of the traps we have is the flow. Just like the disarm, the hand is up. I take, and if I hit the inside of the wrist, or inside the elbow and the outside of the wrist, which will make the collapse, so I can come in and trap from there. If I reverse the motion, I can hyperextend. And so punch comes in, hyperextend, follow up, punch comes in, and this is collapse the arm. From there we have the 2 count, A and B. It's very much like standard trapping hands. The punch comes in, with standard I go 1, 2, 3. With the 2 count, A, I do slap and hit, and I get rid of the grab. I use one hand, so punch comes. 2 count B, I use both hands. Punch comes in, 1, 2. Punch comes in, 1, 2. So this is going to be done simultaneously. The beat will be together. So standard trapping hands is 1, 2, 3. 2 count A is 1, 2. 2 count B can be 1. It can also be 1, 2. But generally speaking, we go for a 1. Is that all the traps? So we have standard inverted flow, 2 count A, 2 count B.
Yes.
Okay, very good. That's